Alright, so John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. And oh guys, I've been waiting for this one. I've been hearing about it because it's been actually announced and launched in like Australia first. And now I'm glad to have the premiere unboxing of the all-new Hurom CP50. This is Hurom's first commercial juicer. Now while Hurom is new to the commercial juicing game, Hurom has been making small appliances in Korea for 50 years and actually is credited for inventing the first vertical auger style juicer, as well as the first hopper vertical juicers, although some other companies out there may try to take the credit. That being said, this is their commercial version. Perfect if you have a hotel, restaurant, cafe, kombucha company, want to make ginger bug, or whatever you want to do on a commercial basis, because this has a full 24-hour motor run time potential. Of course, while this is designed and made for commercial uses, for those of you guys that juice a lot, have a large family, want to do a lot of bulk juicing at once, you guys could also buy this Hurom commercial bulk juicer and have it in your home. So you have literally commercial, professional, top-of-the-line quality in your very house that'll make some of the best cold press juices. So anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and unbox this bad boy, and I'll show you guys more about this Hurom CP50. So before we unbox this CP50, I want to share with you guys who I am. My name is John Kohler, and I started my juicing journey back in 1995 when I switched my diet into eating fresh fruits and vegetables and fresh juices predominantly. In addition, in 1998, I started my company, DiscountJuicers.com, which was founded on the principle of number one, saving customers money. I saw how I can cut out the middleman to get you guys the lowest prices. And number two, fill a very important niche in the market, which is basically educating customers about the different juicers from a third-party independent perspective. It is true, while I have relationships with all the major brand companies out there, no company can pay me off. And frankly, this pisses off some companies, because some of the companies actually stopped paying me, which is really sad. Nonetheless, I say what I want, and basically, for the most part, I let the juicers tell the truth, because in my long-form videos, I basically put these juicers to the test, juice with them, compare them to other machines, and show you guys the actual results without all this fancy editing. And yes, my videos are long, unlike some people that, edit down to 5 minutes and you don't see the overall pros and cons to give you guys the education you need so that you can make the most informed choice as a customer. And if my videos have helped you out, the best way you can help me out these days is by using the coupon codes that I give in every video. So in this case, I've negotiated the lowest price on the CP50 through the end of May through May 31st with my coupon code INDUSTRIAL at Hurom.com. This will save you guys $200 off the Hurom CP50 during this introductory sale. That being said, after May 30th, you can still use that coupon code. That will be good for a minimum of 10% off the Hurom CP50 or any other juicer on the Hurom website. And when you guys use a coupon code, not only will you guys get the lowest price, because if there's other promotions out there, my coupon codes will always give you guys the lowest publicly available promotion on the Hurom. And of course, when you guys use those coupon codes, Hurom will share me part of the sale so I can continue to do my honest, informational, educational work so that you can have the knowledge you need to make the most informed juicing choice and not get the wool pulled over your eyes by other influencers or other companies who just tries to sell you their juicer. So thank you so much for those of you guys who have used my coupon code in the past or will use it in the future. It allows me to continue to make these education videos, buy the produce I juice in these episodes, as well as pay my electricity bill and pay my amazing video editor so these videos can get edited and uploaded for you. So on with this episode. So first up, this is a heavy box, guys. I do like that they actually have cardboard handles on it. They put it on two sides because this box is quite heavy. You may need help to lift it. Nonetheless, we're gonna go ahead and unbox it. I've already actually opened it off camera, washed it all, but I have not yet used it. So me using this machine will be the first time in this video in front of you guys. So let's open up this box and see what we got. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and first pull out some of the instruction manuals. So you're gonna get a warranty card. And I really wanna stop on the warranty card here, guys, because this machine, I was really impressed. I've been talking to Hurom for a long time about increasing their warranty length, and I'm happy to say that Hurom has the longest warranty on any commercial juicer that I am aware of, on not just the motor, because some companies may have a longer warranty on the motor alone, but Hurom warranties this motor, which has a 24-hour duty cycle, as well as all the juicing parts for a total of 4 years. So this is impressive because many companies may only offer a 1-year warranty on their commercial juicer. Not to mention the price. The price of other Korean-made slow juicers with a 24-hour runtime is actually more expensive than the CP50. So they're already coming in at the low price. My coupon codes get it to you guys even lower. And then you get a 4-year warranty on this commercial machine, which just is an amazing value in my eyes. Next up, you have an instruction book in multiple languages, so you should read the instruction book before you use the machine. And of course, you will want to instruct all your staff on the proper usage. Using this machine is not difficult, but you've got to use this machine or problems can result. Next up, you also have a quick start guide. So if you're like me and don't want to read the full user manual, minimally read the quick start guide. It'll give you guys all the basics you need to know to use the machine. And then finally, they give you a recipe book. This recipe book has a lot of information on juicing fruits and vegetables, as well as different juice recipes that you can even serve in your cafe, juice bar, or restaurant, or even enjoy at home. So they have a nice package of different booklets you can read. So let's keep going. All right, next up we have some of the accessories. So I'm quite glad about these accessories, because accessories that have come with other commercial style juicers to me have been kind of like undersized, and these actually are properly sized in my eyes. So first up, they're the first Hurom machine that I'm aware of that is including, in modern days, a juicing sieve, so you can remove some of the pulp if your customers want that pulp-free experience. You have a pusher, which I think they shouldn't even include because you really won't even need it. I've never used a pusher with any of my hopper style juicers. Next up, they give you a nice oversized catch cup. This is a lot, a bit wider than Hurom's normal catch cups. It's actually measured up to 50 ounces or 1,500 milliliters, and that's where it's marked up to, although it maybe goes up to like 1,800 if you filled it even taller. And I'd like to be able to pour off either the two front corners so it actually doesn't drip. In addition, you get a cleaning brush. You will need this to clean the screen on the CP50 model, but you will not need this on the CE50 model that I'm not showing you guys in this episode, but we'll talk about in a little bit. You have a standard heavy-duty 3-prong IEC cord. This is used to power the machine. In addition, this is where Hurom is getting extra credit from me. I've never seen another juicer company do this on any commercial model. They include a full set of extra gaskets. I have had customers that have actually had downtime on their commercial juicer in their juice bar, actually, and they're like, John, I need this part ASAP, man. I'm down juicing because the silicone gasket tore, right? Hurom is including one each of all the gaskets in their juicer, including the gasket that seals the hopper to the bowl, including the gaskets for the wiping blade, including the gasket that seals the juicing bowl to the motor, as well as the pulp outlet flap, as well as the juice spout cap. You know, these parts are really inexpensive, but this can cause your business downtime if one of these parts fail, and you have to stop using the machine until you get these parts back in stock. Hurom is going to have you guys a way to avoid the downtime, and you guys know that in the commercial business, downtime equals lost money. We don't want lost money. Hurom doesn't want you guys to have lost money either. That's why they're including all these extra parts. And of course, all these replacement parts, should you need them later, are available at the Hurom website. And of course, finally, the accessory that I love the most that comes with the CP50 that I'll start using with my other juicers when I'm juicing at home is their nice, large, oversized pulp catch container. This is truly commercial size, guys. All these accessory parts as well as the whole machine are all BPA free. So I love that they're including finally a pulp catch container that I approve of, because it can catch so much pulp before you need to empty. And that's a big problem I've had when I bulk juice. I fill up that pulp catch container, it keeps overflowing, I gotta empty, and it gives me one more thing to do. I could just basically put this pulp catch container down there and forget about it. So love that a lot. All right, guys, next let's go ahead and pull out the juicing part. So check it out, guys. This is the largest hopper on any Hurom juicer. I like that's a cylinder design, and it is a full 3 liters. So this is larger than all their home models on the market. This is commercial size, 3 liters. So it's going to fit the most amount of produce. You can fill it up and make lots of juice in one go. Before we take these apart, let's go ahead and get the last part out of the box, which is the motor base. All right, guys, so getting the motor base is going to be a little bit of a trick because it is quite heavy. I'm going to have to stand up and use 2 hands. All right, guys, so here's the monster motor base coming right out. This is the heaviest motor base I think I've felt on any machine. The reason why it's heavy is because it has copper windings. It's a traditional AC style motor running at 65 RPMs and can have a continuous runtime of 24 hours according to the manual. Other Hurom divisions, like in other countries such as Europe, as well as Australia, as well as in Asia, will share that 24-hour runtime. I find it interesting that the US version of Hurom will claim the 24-hour runtime, but in parentheses, basically they say, we do not recommend running it over 30 minutes, which I find very interesting. More about the motor, it is UL listed as well as it is rated at 250 watts, which is the most powerful wattage motor out there for any Hurom juicer I've ever seen. All right, guys, so we got all the different parts included with the CP50 laid out here, and finally we're going to go ahead and put the juicer parts on the juicer so you guys can see what it looks like. And there we go, fully assembled. We're going to go ahead and, once again, nice large catch container goes under this side. And then we got the juice catch right in front, and of course you can put on that sieve if you want a little less pulp. Of course, recipe book, warranty, quick start, and user manual. The pusher, should you need to use that, which I don't think you ever will. It also has a feed chute in the top. The IEC cord that will plug in a second, as well as those spare parts I locked a lot, and that cleaning brush you will need for the screen design, which is the CP50 model. Next up, let's go ahead and get all the accessories cleared off and talk more about the CP50 juicing parts and what makes it different and revolutionary than any other juicer on the market. All right, guys, so now I want to show you guys the features of the Hurom CP50 and how it works. All right, got it plugged in. Number 1, there's a power switch, which is right above where the power cord is. So it's kind of hiding back there. If you don't look, you'll miss it. It's right down here. So if you press it, it'll come on and the machine will beep at you, letting you know it's ready to go, and all the LEDs will light up on the front panel. So you guys can see the front panel right here. We got a few buttons. We got a 1, 2, 3, 4. We got a rinse, reverse, and start and stop. Okay, so it's these buttons that make the machine work. If you press the stop button, it'll basically turn on. You press it once again, it stops. If you press the 1 to 4 button, these are pre-programmed cycles. So basically, if you press the 1 button, it'll run for 1 minute. I think the 2 button is 2 minutes. 3 is 3 minutes, and 4 is 4 minutes, right? You can pre-program these to longer should you need them for your recipe. So for example, on your menu, you have a carrot, apple, ginger blast a recipe. You load all the ingredients in the hopper because you've already had it in your make table and you have the portion size ready to go because you're gonna make juice on demand in the front of the house because this machine runs at 53 decibels. It is a slow machine, 65 RPM. So you guys could run it when you're in the front of house, right? The customers can see the slow juice being made right in front of them. So for example, here's what I'll tell you and how it should go, right? Somebody comes to the counter. I want a number 5, the lemon ginger blast, right? Your worker goes to the make table, opens the fridge, takes out a pre-made, pre-measured amount of produce, right? In a little tub, and then basically dumps it in the machine, right? They shut the machine, they press the button for that specific recipe, say number 1. The machine comes on for the specific amount of time. The juicer is processing. The worker does not have to sit there and push produce in. The machine does all the work so that you don't have to. Your workers don't have to. You're gonna save juicing time. While the machine is running, they got it started. Now your worker is going to go back to the cash register and ring up the customer for the juice. Take the money, give the change, right? You could even put the cup right here to have it juice right in the cup so you don't even have to make any extra dishes. Then when it's done, the machine will shut off automatically. Then you could put the lid, put a straw in it, or just give the juice to the customer. They're done. You've already checked them out. There's no delay to your line. You can serve more customers at once because of the CP50 has that automatic hopper that allows you to do other things while your customers save time, your workers save time, your workers can be more efficient helping other customers while the machine is running and making the juice. This is completely amazing. And so for those of you guys that are at home, right, you guys could bulk juice in large volumes, right? If you're not doing just a cup, you could do a cup, of course, if you just want to make a cup in the morning of juice, but you could do large volumes and make 8, 12, 14 quarts at once, because once again, this has a 24-hour runtime. Keep it running. Oh, in addition, it has a rinse button. I thought I'd forget to mention that one. So between recipes, you're going to basically just fill it with water, as I'll show you guys in a little bit. Press the rinse button. It'll basically rinse it out. The water will drain out, and then you can move on to your next recipe without even taking the entire machine apart and cleaning it. Now, the one thing I need to say, because I asked Hurom when it came out, like they announced a commercial juicer, and the thing that came right to my mind, because so many customers have asked me about it in the past, is, John, is it NSF or ETL Sanitation approved? Some health departments in the country will require this documentation to be able to use any kitchen equipment in a restaurant for food safety. And at present time, I am sad to say that that is the one point that is not currently NSF or ETL Sanitation approved at this time, although I have been told that Hurom is currently in progress to getting that certification. So in the future, I believe it will have that certification, but unfortunately at present time it does not. So this is something to check with your local health department on if they require it or not. You know, some health departments do, like maybe in California and some other states, but many health departments don't, because if you're using a home juicer for commercial uses, that machine is definitely not NSF or ETL Sanitation approved. If you're using a Breville, that machine is not ETL or NSF approved either. And of course, if you guys are using a high-speed machine that sounds loud, you can't use it in front of house because it's going to disturb the customers. I would encourage you guys to move towards this machine. It runs at a low RPM, and it's going to give you guys a true cold pressed juice. When you use a high-speed juicer, you cannot claim it's a cold pressed juice because it happens at a high speed. At the high speed, it oxidizes the juice and lowers nutrition for your customers. And when you're selling cold pressed juice, this is what customers demand and want, because they want a juice that has more nutrition and is of higher quality. And most customers these days ask for a cold pressed juice. And when you guys use the CP50, you can advertise, yes, we have cold press juices because our juicer runs at a low and slow 65 RPM that literally crushes, squeezes, and presses out the juice. Anyways, let's go ahead and show you guys the revolutionary juicing parts, and it has some features, I think 3 of them, that no other Hurom juicer has at this time. Alright guys, so the main innovation in the Hurom CP50 are a few. Number 1, the motor. This is the most powerful motor that Hurom has made on any of their juicers in the time that I have been working with Hurom. 250 watts, 24-hour run time. This is completely incredible. And of course, 65 RPM, 4 different presets of rinse, reverse, and start stop. Now while the motor is impressive for its 24-hour run time, which is the most of any Hurom juicer, and matches the most of any other Korean-made juicer, because this juicer is made in South Korea, the main new innovations are actually in this hopper that has some new unique features not found on any Hurom juicer at this time. Alright, so first off, let's go ahead and take this hopper apart one by one. So first up, we're going to go ahead and remove the hopper off of the machine. This is the largest hopper that Hurom offers on any of their models. And of course, it is on a commercial model because they know people in commercial use are going to need to put a lot more produce in the juice to make that glass of juice they're going to serve to their customers. And I do like that on this machine they have a trigger, so you literally press this and it pops up. It actually is reminiscent of another juicer that I'm aware of on the market. Nonetheless, this pops up, and once it pops up, you can load your produce in this 3-liter hopper. In addition, this lid comes off. It's nice, clean, easy design. It also has a hole with a little, it's raked, so if you put some produce here, it'll actually drop in. I encourage you guys actually to just basically fill everything you need and then shut the lid and have it run. Another innovative feature on this hopper, unlike others, is that this is a one-piece mold, right? This prevents nooks and crannies. Other juicers out there basically have a black piece around the base of the hopper and a clear piece on top, and they fuse them together, and there's a little crack in there. And if you guys have one of those machines, I want you to look in the crack. That crack may collect debris, old produce that you cannot clean out. It may get moldy, cause a food harbage issue, cause disease, and you may get sick because of it. This will never happen because this is a one-piece mold, the same BPA-free plastic on the whole entire machine all the way down, and on the whole hopper all the way down. And you guys can see it's also ribbed, so that helps the produce keep to fall into the machine. In addition, another feature I like on this model is that the hopper is fully circle. It's a full cylinder. Other Hurom machines usually have a cutoff on one side, which then it basically you lose space. So I like that this is a whole circle. In addition, they have upgraded their processing blade from their original design. So this is a new design that has a new little upright right here to help dislodge produce. In addition, it has a new design on the hopper right here, 2 little ridges that come out that'll ensure produce that is put in a hole will get kind of agitated and crushed up. This is a huge problem with not properly designed, inexpensive hopper juicers where produce will just sit in the hopper and spin around. Not with Hurom's new design that has the new design on the processing blade, which includes a little nub on the top as well as a nub on the bottom pointing down, as well as the other thing I really like is that this lower blade literally goes to the end of the carafe. Some inexpensive juicers don't even go to the edge of the carafe, especially cheap ones you buy, mini juicers that I've seen, and then produce gets stuck, it does not get agitated, and it does not go in the machine. Hurom has designed this so that this does not happen to you because they designed this properly to go to the extreme edge of the container. In addition, they're now using a little bit different installation method, so this actually has a lot less drag. Some of the machines I've noticed have a really strong drag when you spin that processing blade on the bottom. This can cause extra wear on the juicer motor and cause it to fail prematurely, not on the CP50. All right. Of course, one of the gaskets on the CP70 is this circular gasket, which prevents, on the rinse cycle, it prevents it from leaking out of the seam. And of course, Hurom gives you one of these seals. All right. Another thing I want to mention that's very important is this opening on the bottom, right? Many companies just have a cutout opening that is of no distinct shape and is not specially designed to work optimally, right? I call these dumb openings because they just basically cut out an opening in the bottom and the food goes in. Food may go in too fast, food may go in too slow, and then that can cause problems, especially if food goes in too fast. It can promote clogging or jamming. This is a very specialized hole here on the bottom of the CP50. It kind of gets wide on one side and then it gets kind of more narrow. And then if we even look in here, this is even more interesting. I don't know if you guys could see that on the camera, but as we go in and if we look into the bottom of the bowl, not only is it an opening, but it is a multi-layered opening. So basically there's an inset cut where the opening is to allow some of it to go down, and then there's like a nice little ridge that'll actually direct things down in to get juiced rather than sit and spin inside the hopper. So literally, guys, this is the latest hopper design, and wouldn't you know it, it's on their commercial machine. So I hope they roll this new design feature out in their upcoming home models. So here's the thing, guys. I love when juicer companies innovate. This is why I encourage you guys to subscribe to my YouTube channel right down below. Click the little bell to get notified as my new videos come out. I will always share with you guys and be one of the first people in the United States to unbox the newest, latest machines, give my honest review on it so that you guys could learn the best machines, right? There's many influencers that still promote machines made in and released in 2021. Right? Those old machines don't have these latest technological innovations that basically makes the whole juicing experience just that much better. And a lot of these little upgrades makes your experience a whole lot better. Another thing I like on the bottom of this hopper is that this is basically all flat. This is a big problem on some of the early Hurom hoppers. There's lots of little nooks and crannies that pulp can get stuck in. And I'm glad to say that now this is basically pretty much all flat, so it's going to be very easy to clean. And I know those of you guys that have commercial restaurants and cafes, right? You guys know that you always put your equipment in your dishwasher to clean your appliances and kitchen tools and all the dishes from the front of the house, right? I'm glad to say that this is the world's first dishwasher safe approved juicer out there. Companies recommend to not dishwash juicers because the plastic is not the high temperature resistant plastic, because it's the less expensive plastic. So Hurom has fully investigated, researched, and it has now released the world's first dishwasher safe juicer. All these plastics can be put in the dishwasher, and it is dishwasher safe according to Hurom. So this is a huge advancement in juicers, because so many times people have asked me, John, can I put the juicer in the dishwasher? And my answer has half been no, because it could damage the parts, but not with the Hurom CP50. Although there's one caveat I'll touch upon in a little bit regarding dishwashing the CP50. Alright guys, so that was the hopper. So there's lots of new innovations in the hopper. Next up, let's go ahead and check out the juicing parts. This is what also is innovative on the CP50. And once again, the world's first. We're going to go ahead and pull out these juicing parts. And on the CP50, that's the model I am showing you guys today, we have the pure line juicing parts. That is what comes stock in the CP50. These three parts, which is the oversized juicing auger, the oversized juicing screen, and the automatic wiping blade. Now, Hurom is also releasing the CE50 in some markets around the world. The CE50 model looks identical to the CP50, except it doesn't have these three parts. Instead, it only comes with two parts, which is a blank, which is basically this, but it's all filled in, and then it has its two-piece auger. This is the easy clean system that I love so much that comes stock on the Hurom H70, which is a home model, not a commercial model. So soon enough, in the United States, hopefully next month, they're going to be selling the upgrade kit to turn your CP50 into the CE50 and have the easy clean system. I can't wait for this because I have strong beliefs that really the new wave of juicing is the CE50. That being said, I believe the next wave of juicing and the best, latest information in juicing to take it to the next level is the Easy Clean design, or what they would call it, Easy line, and that would be the upgrade parts that'll sell for maybe $50 to $60 inside the United States. So once again, be sure to click that subscribe button, click the bell, because I have a video on that as soon as that comes in, because as soon as that comes in, I will no longer be using pure line juicing parts in my CP50. So yeah, that's another innovation, that this machine is interchangeable. Should you want less pulp and more cleaning, then you guys could use a juicing screen. I mean, in reality, some recipes may juice better with the juicing screen than with the Easy Clean system. So this is the only juicer that gives you the flexibility to juice with the screen. And then sometimes if you just want easy cleaning, or maybe the recipe you're using will actually juice fine with the Easy Clean design line system, then you could use that system. That being said, I'm always going to use the Easy line system because in my test it performs just fine and it saves me a lot of time cleaning. Alright guys, so up next I want to show you guys how the pure line works, and when the Easy line comes up I'll have a video on that as well. So on this auger it says pure on it, and we're going to go ahead and pull this out. One of the things I like about this pure auger is that this auger is longer than the auger on other home machines made by Hurom as well as other companies. And when you have a longer auger, what does that mean? That means you have a longer run on the produce. The longer run on the produce means the produce will get ground up for a longer amount of time as it works its way down its auger, grinding it up and extracting more nutrients. So the longer the auger, typically the better the produce is ground down, and then typically more juice is then extracted from the produce. So I do like that they have an oversized, larger auger on this commercial machine. So as you guys can see, when we look at the juicing screen, literally about 1/3 of this juicing screen is just a blank. So as you put the produce in, the produce is ground up a little bit to make it smaller size until it works its way down till it gets to the juicing screen. So this ensures that you're going to have a highest yield and most complete grind when the pure system is working. And as the pure system is working, the auger grinds up the produce, sends it down. As it grinds up, juice is released. The juice comes out of the juicing screen. Meanwhile, this wiping blade is running around the screen to basically keep that screen clean. And just like the windshield wipers on your car, this wipes off all the juice so that it can come out the juicing bowl in to your cup or your customer's cup. And then of course all the pulp is then ejected out of this hole, which then comes out this side of the juicing bowl. Alright, so my comments on the juicing parts, because the diameter is larger and the circumference is larger, that means there's going to be, number one, more grinding area because there's more chance for the produce to get ground up. Number two, there's also a longer run than the home models on the market, which means it's going to, once again, a larger time to get ground up as it works its way down the juicing screen. Also, too, the rake on the juicing screen is a little bit different than other Hurom juicing screens. Most Hurom juicing screens I've seen are kind of like this, maybe a little bit over-exaggerated, and this one kind of starts off like this and then kind of rounds out to be less of an angle. So this is quite interesting, so I look forward to doing more testing with this, especially comparing the commercial model to the home models in the future to see the actual real-world differences. And of course, there's also a lot more screen area on this screen because once again, the circumference as well as diameter is larger on this commercial model than on the home models. Now, while I did say this entire machine is dishwasher safe, I am noticing they are using a little bit different quality plastic. Once again, all BPA free on this machine. That is why these parts are dishwasher safe. The one thing I will say is that while you can put all these in the dishwasher, and while these all parts will be cleaned in the dishwasher, what I will tell you guys honestly is that, while you could put the juicing screen in the dishwasher, do not expect your dishwasher to unclog all the small little tiny holes on the pure line juicing screen. This juicing screen has all these stainless steel holes that you will need to pre-scrub before putting it into the dishwasher. So minimally, you're going to want to take that cleaning brush and brush around the screen. I would brush around the lowest ring on the outside, top rung on the outside, as well as go to the inside, run the brush on the inside, and run this all around to dislodge the majority of the pulp before you put it in the dishwasher. The dishwasher simply will not be able to clear out all the little tiny holes. This is why I'm going to recommend for you guys that are commercial or home users to use the Easy line, the CE50 juicer parts that I'll have in upcoming episodes, because with this, there's none of these little stainless steel juicing holes that you'll need to scrub with a juicer. You just be able to put the juicer parts in the dishwasher, and without any scrubbing, your dishwasher will get it entirely clean. So I look forward to when those parts come out so I can ditch that cleaning brush. So finally, let's go ahead and share with you guys the juicing bowl. This is the most heavy-duty juicing bowl on any Hurom juicer. It's also large and oversized. I do like the simplistic design. It basically has a fully flat bottom, which is going to be a lot easier to clean. Some of the Hurom bowls have basically multi-levels, which can get more intricate to clean. And also, of course, there's a gasket here, the silicone gasket here, which basically protects juice dropping onto the top of the motor, which of course you're given an extra. You're also given an extra of this pulp flap, so you don't get leaks on your counter when your juice pulp catch is closed, as well as you get a pulp outlet silicone flap as well. And this is the new innovation on the Hurom juicer. You know, some of the Hurom juicers, you got to basically undo a clip and then you clip it apart and then you can take it apart and clean in there easy. Hurom has taken this to the next level because now they have this little flap here, like your tongue, that you literally could just pull out, and now the whole flap comes out. You guys can see this is basically a short run, goes right back, the pulp comes out right here. This is going to be very easy to clean. One of the challenges that can occur while you're juicing is that pulp gets stuck and does not make this right angle exit. You'll have to unflip the juicer, take it apart, and now like try to get that clean. Now with this part, basically all you need to do when that happens is you could go ahead and unsnap this, and then you have full access to get in here to unclog any jams without taking the entire machine apart. So I really love this innovation. It seems to make sense to me in real world applications, but I really want to test this to see how it works in the real world, because on paper, definitely sounds and looks really cool. So I really like when companies, once again, step it up a notch. And, you know, once again, Hurom proves they're taking their 50 years of appliance experience, 20 years of making vertical auger juicers to the next level by making these small incremental improvements. So I'm glad they're doing that. So I guess next up, let's go ahead and assemble the juicer. So to do that, we're simply going to go ahead and take the wiping blade, very important. The little gears on the wiping blade is always facing down, so you're going to have these facing down while you put the juicing screen into it. You're going to just slowly rotate the juicing screen. If you put it in too hard or too fast, you may dislodge the wiping blades that can easily come out for cleaning. Next up, you're going to go ahead and set this juicing screen into the housing here. There's basically these little notches. So this is a small notch. This is a larger notch right here, and this basically fits into the notches on the bowl. So, you know, you basically just drop it in, and then it just drops fully in once you have it fully aligned. It makes it simple and easy. You then take the auger. Oh, and I want to talk about this auger here really quick because I forgot to do that. This auger is a new design too. They basically took off some of the auger and kind of make a notch out of it. So now produce would kind of go in there and kind of get chopped up more effectively. It'll go in and get processed more quickly than without having this notch. So, you know, there's these small, fine improvements on the CP50. Once again, Hurom's latest pure design. And also, of course, they're going to come out with an easy clean soon enough in the US. All right, so then you just basically drop. Oh, the one thing I want to mention is on this auger, you know, there's a large recess in this auger here, so you will need to get and clean it. I'm going to see at the end of this episode if it actually collects a lot of pulp underneath this auger. So yeah, this is a point that you will need to pay attention to when done, because it's a lot deeper than some of the on some of the augers on some of the other machines. All right. So then finally, you're just going to go ahead and drop this in. Then finally, you're going to go ahead and assemble the hopper on top of the juicing part. So this is where you need to kind of pay some attention. It only goes on one way. So this is very interesting the way they did this. On one side of the juicing bowl, there's a lock and an unlock, and there's a little line, okay? On the other side, which is right over where the pulp exits, there's an unlock and a lock, but instead of a line, it actually has an arrow, right? So you need to pay attention to this. You need to let your staff know that they need to line up the, the arrows with the arrows and the lines with the lines. So then, if we look on the hopper here, on one side of the hopper, there's a little arrow, or a little triangle. And on the other side, there's a line. So guess what? We need to line up the line with the unlock line. And we need to line up the arrow with the unlock arrow. And once we do that, the hopper will seat down. And then you turn the arrow from the unlock position to the lock position. And then you are fully assembled. Unlike some machines, this has like the outcropping that goes all the way down. This machine does not have that, so this is going to be a little bit interesting. I guess the thing to remember is that your handle, right, will always go over where the juice comes out, or this will not assemble properly. When you assemble this properly, this outcropping will sit right on top here, which has a switch that'll activate to let the machine know that it is assembled correctly, so the machine will turn on. If the machine does not turn on, then the machine has not been properly assembled. So we're just going to go ahead, drop it on, and then turn it on. It'll beep once, letting you know it is ready to go. All right, so the next thing I want to do is we're going to go ahead and test the decibels. Hurom claims it to be 53 decibels, which is actually quite quiet. So I want to test this with my decibel meter to make sure it's accurate or not. So let's just go ahead and hit the start button and see how loud it actually is running empty. All right, so I'm getting on my decibel reader this far away from the machine. It is about 63 to 64 decibels. All right, let's go ahead and stop it. Nonetheless, that is quite quiet for a juicer. You know, some blenders run in excess of over 100 decibels where you should have hearing protection. I'm happy to say that with the Hurom CP50, you don't need hearing protection because it runs low and slow and is actually quite quiet. All right, guys, so up next, we're going to go ahead and do some real-life juicing in the Hurom CP50. We're going to go ahead and juice 5 pounds of organic carrots and time it to see how long it takes and, more importantly, how much juice we actually make in that time. But before I go on, I want to just go ahead and review real quick the main highlights of the CP50 and the new technologies that is game-changing and first for Hurom as well as all other hopper juicers out there. Number one, first juicer on the U.S. market to be fully dishwasher safe with the caveat of the juicing screen. The juicing screen can be put in the dishwasher, but you will need to pre-scrub it before putting in because even the dishwasher will not get pulp out of all the little stuck-in holes. It needs to be brushed. Number two, the latest advancement, revolutionary, is that this is the machine you can change out, right? It is convertible from the pure line, which has the stainless steel juicing screen that is said to make less pulp in your juice. That being said, it can also be changed out to the easy line, making it basically a CE50 model, which then is the easy clean design, which then takes me 60 seconds to clean off and can once again be put in the dishwasher with no additional scrubbing. That design may put a little bit more pulp in the juice depending on your specific recipe, but on some recipes I've found that could actually put less pulp in the juice than the screen design. So I think you really got to kind of play with it to see which of these designs will work with your recipe. And once again, Hurom is offering you guys both. You guys can have both systems because some of your recipes may perform better in the screenless, the easy clean, and some recipes may perform better with the juicing screen. The only way you're going to find out is if you test it. And as soon as I get the easy clean design, I'll be testing that, of course, myself at home. Now, the third innovation is the innovation where the pulp comes out. So you have this little flap that you can just literally pull out and clean super simply and easily, as well as a new innovation in the hopper design with the newly designed processing blade, as well as a cutout opening that is specifically designed to work optimally. So your staff can put in things whole, like whole apples, whole beets. You know, you can put carrots that are whole, that'll fit entirely into the hopper, like that small one I just dropped in, right? You can probably cut celery in half so that now your staff does not have to do all the prep. They'll save time because you're going to let the juicer do all the work. In addition, of course, this machine juices on autopilot because once again, like I said, you just put everything in the hopper. You can start it up, walk away, and let the juicer do all the work without any babysitting. Hurom was the first company on the market in the United States and around the world to have the world's first hopper machine, right? They've made improvements along the way, and I'm glad to say in 2026, this is their latest and greatest design. And based on my personal experience, Hurom always releases their latest products with the latest innovations that comes out of their amazing R&D department in Korea, that a good portion of money is spent to continually develop and improve the whole juicing experience for customers out there. And I'm glad finally Hurom is getting into B2B and seeing the market potential of getting fresh juices out to customers through businesses that serve fresh juice. And of course, when customers come in and buy a juice made on a Hurom CP50, they'll ask the juice bar, hey, what juicer do you use? Oh, the Hurom, I'm gonna get one of those for my home because I love it so much, right? So, you know, I already found out that right now, at present time, the time this video is being filmed, my favorite juicer in the world is the Hurom H70, and I tested all the juicers out there. So, guys, if you guys are looking for a home juicer, you definitely want to get the Hurom H70. I do bulk juicing in that. I just made, 4 to 5 quarts a day bulk juicing myself. The Hurom H70 has never failed me. And if you guys want to learn why the Hurom H70 is my favorite at the time this episode is being filmed, my link down below to why the Hurom H70 is my favorite juicer. It's because of that easy clean, because Hurom invented this technology and they continue to improve it, as well as so many other reasons you'll only learn if you click down below. And if you guys are a home user, right, I will tell you guys this because I know a lot of you guys believe, oh, it's a commercial juicer, and in your mind you're thinking it must make a better juice quality. What I'll tell you guys, that the home model Hurom or the commercial model Hurom will basically make a similar juice quality. They run around 60 RPMs using a similar extraction technology. So your juice quality is basically going to be the same. What may be different is how long the juicer takes to juice, and of course, more importantly, the capacity. Home juicers are designed to only work for up to 30 minutes, and this machine has a 24-hour promoted runtime. So if you really want to make a lot of juice, still get the same quality, of course this machine will cost you more, but the other thing, you're also going to get a shorter warranty. The home models that Hurom makes that I recommend have a full 15-year warranty for home use, and if Hurom finds out you use one of their home models for commercial use, you have 0 warranty because your warranty has been voided, because that's only a home warranty. So for those of you guys that have a commercial juice bar, this is the machine you want to buy with the longest warranty. And for those guys that are at home, you could buy confidently the home model. You're going to get similar performance, although the hopper will be smaller, and there'll be some intricate differences that I'll be sure to test out in the future in my comparison videos when I test Hurom's home versus commercial model. Of course, for those of you guys that are homeowners and that want the highest end because you have that nice BMW or those fancy cars, right? You could have the top of the line machine that could basically juice anything, literally, you throw at it. So anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get 5 pounds of carrots juiced in the Hurom CP50, the first time I'm using this machine on camera. Alright, so first up we're going to go ahead and load up the CP50. You can see I kind of dumped in that first carrot. When you open the lid, it beeps to let you know it's beeping. But in order to fill this hopper up more effectively, I'm just going to simply break these carrots in half. That'll allow me to basically play a better Tetris game with this. You can, of course, cut them even smaller to get them even more Tetris size. But today I'm just going to be lazy. I'm going to cut them in half, and that should allow me to fit a good portion of these carrots into the hopper. Alright guys, so basically I stopped loading the Hurom CP50 at the max fill line. So I need to let you guys know there's a max fill line on the CP50. There's a line right here with an arrow pointing down. You should not fill above that line. If you fill above that line, it may cause the top to basically open and the juicer process to stop. So we don't want that happening, you guys. So basically only fill it up to the max to the line. And you can see we still have some of the carrots that didn't make it in the machine that will load in during the process as the carrots get processed through the hopper. All right. Next up, we're going to go ahead and time to see how long the CP50 takes to juice. So on 3, I'm going to go ahead and press start here and start here. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, the Hurom CP50 is off to the races. It is juicing. Let's see, we got some juice coming out literally within seconds. As you guys can see, the pulp is flowing out at actually a fairly fast clip. Oh, with the top opened up, so I had to shut it down and then shut it again, and now it continues to go. I think if there's a little bit of pressure on the top, like the carrots are pushing up on the top, it causes it to open, right? So let's see, if you fill it lower or cut the carrots up into smaller pieces. Some of the big carrots are kind of getting wrenched up into the top because I left them rather large. So let's see, I hope that Hurom kind of fixes this clip a little bit to clip a little bit more strongly, which can prevent this from happening in the future. All right, as you guys can see, the carrots are being worked down. We've juiced a lot already, and as that goes down, we can go ahead and then, drop a few of the broken carrots in the machine for it to continue to process. All right, guys, as you guys can see, I got all the carrots in the machine, and next up, we're about 2 minutes in now, and we're just gonna go ahead and let the machine run by itself on its own. It popped up the lid one more time, because if you overload it once again, the carrots might hit the top and cause it to stop. You'll just need to shut the lid there. So we're just gonna go ahead and hopefully let this run without me, while I start cleaning up the bowls. And in this case, at this point, I would actually take the customer's money while the juicer's running and be able to do other things while the juice is being made on demand. Alright guys, as you guys can see, the Hurom CP50 is pretty much done. How you'll know when it's done is the pulp will stop moving out of the pulp ejection port, and it's still moving ever so slowly, and the juice will stop dripping. I think we'll call it, and we'll hit stop. And as you guys can see, it took about 5 minutes and 20 seconds to juice 5 pounds of carrots. I think it did a great job. It worked fairly quickly at a fast clip. 5 pounds of carrot pulp did not overfill the catch bin, which is quite impressive. And yeah, it worked without incident other than basically me overloading the hopper and then causing it to pop up. So very important, you cut the carrot pieces smaller so it doesn't jack up and hit the roof of the hopper. It won't pop open like that. And yeah, of course, don't fill it past the fill line, which I take full responsibility for, loading it past that little mark, because I kind of went a little bit above it. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and hit the stop button. Once it's done, then you're going to want to go ahead and close that spout cap so you don't get any drips on your countertop. And next up, let's go ahead and check the yield. All right, guys, so the yield looks like about almost 4 cups of juice made in the CP50. It was basically like a 5-pound bag of carrots, and I think when I weighed it out after cutting off the tips and the ends, it was 4.9 pounds. Next up, I want to go ahead and taste test the carrot juice. I did not use a sieve or a strainer to catch it out, so I'm just going to go ahead and taste it to see how much pulp was actually put in there with the Pure Line sieve, right? Wow, that's actually quite good. Now I poured off the top. I'm not tasting any bit of particulate. To me, this is about as fine as a centrifugal juicer, but once again, this is done in a slow juicer. There's very little particulate that I'm tasting in my glass, and of course, this carrot juice simply tastes amazing. Basically, all I can tell you guys is that basically it's up to par with every other Hurom slow juicer I've used. The juice is not anything special. It made about a similar quantity yield based on past tests I've done with other Hurom juicers, so that isn't special either. But yeah, this is just the commercial model. If you want to juice large batches, or have a commercial restaurant, hotel, juice bar, cafe, or even kombucha bar, and actually that's what I'm going to show you guys next. we're going to juice a whole ton, or 15 pounds of ginger. But before we do, I want to show you guys the easy rinse feature on the Hurom CP50 so that you don't have to take it apart and wash in between customers. Alright guys, so now I want to show you guys how to use the rinse feature on the Hurom CP50. It's super simple, super easy. You'll need a few things. Number one, you just need a big pitcher of water. You know, I've seen them basically fill this up with water, and then you could pour that in and then catch it in the same container. Today I'm just going to use a big pitcher of water. So the first step is make sure your spout cap is closed. You're going to go ahead and then pour in all the water into the hopper. Once you pour all the water in the hopper, you're going to shut the lid. Then you're going to go ahead and simply hit the rinse feature, the rinse button over here. Hold it down. And the machine starts. And basically what's happening in front of your eyes, the machine will run an automatic rinse cycle for you guys. Basically feeding that water through the machine, rinsing the juicer out so that you don't have to stop, take it apart in between juicer customers. Just make it very simple and easy to rinse out your juicer so you can make fresh juices without contamination every single time. Alright guys, so when the rinse function is done, it basically turns itself off, and then you can go ahead and open it up and check it out guys. All that dirty carrot juice water is coming right out of the machine, and the machine is literally cleaning itself. The other thing I would recommend is that you would also want to, after all the water comes out, you want to hit the start button, and then let it run a little bit more to get all the last bits of water and residue out of the machine. Alright, there you go. Pretty much all the water's drained out. We can go ahead and shut that spout cap, and look at this. All the dirty water came out of the machine. I recommend you guys water your plants with it outside the front of your business because there's still some good nutrients in here that the plants would love. Alright guys, last up in this episode, we're going to go ahead and do the ginger torture test in the Hurom CP50 because this is actually a real world test. There are some customers out there, maybe you own a kombucha bar, or maybe you have a Chinese restaurant. Maybe you make the ginger bug or like a ginger soda, and you need to juice lots of ginger, right? And you're looking for the perfect commercial juicer to juice ginger. And what I'm going to tell you guys is the Hurom CP50 is it, because it can run for up to 24 hours continuously. And it has a full 4-year warranty, which is longer than any other slow juicer. This is a slow juicer, so you're going to get a nice grind, press, and squeeze on the ginger to extract the most amount of juice to make all your amazing ginger juice concoctions. Maybe you have a ginger juice shot company. Once again, the Hurom CP50 would be great for that as well. As you guys can see, I have a ton, well not quite a ton, but a lot of ginger here. This happens to be about 15 pounds. This is maybe like a half of a box of ginger, something like a lot of ginger. Now I will tell you guys straight up that the ginger I have today is the ginger from China. Chinese ginger is a lot softer ginger. It has a bit different flavor than other gingers from other countries around the world. And if you guys are using the Chinese ginger, then you can juice it just like I am showing you guys today. You can put it in whole. Why can you put it in whole? Because when you take the Chinese ginger and basically just crack it up, the fibers are very thin and they basically break easily. So this is not a very fibrous ginger. It's a very weak fiber ginger, or fiberless, I would call it ginger style. Because it's fiberless, this will not give the juicer problems, right? If you get ginger from other countries, like this is non-organic conventional ginger from China. So if you're using this exact ginger, it'll work exactly like I'm showing you guys. The problem will arise is that say, John, I saw you juice a ton of ginger and I tried the same thing and the machine clogged and jammed, it didn't work, right? That's because you're not using the Chinese ginger. So make sure you check with your suppliers, find out where you're getting the ginger from, order the Chinese ginger if you want to juice it without pre-cutting. That being said, if you buy organic ginger, I have never seen organic ginger come whole from China. Usually organic ginger in the United States is imported from South America, maybe Peru. And then it looks more like this. This is some organic ginger. It's a little bit old. It's been dried up a little bit. But the regular ginger kind of looks like this. It's much smaller. And this is a lot more fibrous. So you must pre-cut this ginger in order to juice it. And let me show you guys how to do that. You're going to want to cut it against the grain, right? The ginger fibers run from the top to the bottom. Long fibrous strands. As the juicer grinds up the ginger, has to make a right angle turn as it comes out. This is where the ginger fibers will get stuck if you do not pre-cut it. So if you do want to juice ginger like this, organic or, you know, smaller ginger that's not, you know, fiberless like the Chinese stuff, then you're going to take a knife and then you're going to just slice the ginger against the grain. Wow, this is quite fibrous because it's also quite old too. That's the other thing. This is fresh ginger, literally just off the boat. Super tender, super fibrous. So you're just going to go ahead and slice it into slim, thin pieces. You could use a machine to do this, maybe like a food processor with a slicing blade, but you want to make sure you slice it against the grain, kind of like into pieces like that. And then you could take this pre-sliced ginger and then just load up the hopper to your heart's content to, you know, juice all the ginger without any problems. This is the best practice I'm going to recommend to you guys if you guys are juicing organic ginger. Of course, the proper machine for organic ginger that is quite fibrous would be something more like a horizontal auger juicer that I'm not aware that any commercial juicers on the market at this time to do that, or something like the Green Star Pro, which is a commercial model juicer. I'll put a link down below to my unboxing video on the Green Star Pro. That would be the best machine that you do not have to pre-cut the ginger, but you, however, will need to push each and every, you know, head of ginger into the machine. All right, guys, so without further ado, let's go ahead and juice 15 pounds of ginger in the Hurom CP50 and see how long it takes. So literally, I'm just going to go ahead and, once again, open up the top, and we're going to go ahead and load up the ginger. I'm just going to put in whole pieces, right? This is whole, uncut ginger. The most important thing when loading the ginger into the CP50 is do not overload the machine, especially if you're not pre-cutting it. The machine will basically start to, you know, move the ginger around the hopper, and it may basically make the top pop up if you load up too much at once. So we're going to load actually probably just below the max fill line right there on the machine. So let's go ahead and load that much in, shut the lid, and on 3 we're going to go ahead and hit the start button and press the start button on the stopwatch. 1, 2, 3, go! As you guys can see, the ginger is getting juice off to the races. I always recommend you guys open that spout cap. As you guys can see, before we know it, the pulp is coming out, and we got the ginger juice coming right out as well. So probably what I'll do is we're just going to go ahead, and as the ginger, you know, moves its way down, I'm going to keep putting in a piece at a time through the spout, or I may let the hopper empty and then load more ginger up when the hopper empties completely. So those are the two options. So maybe I'll just wait till the hopper finishes until I put more, unless I have thin stuff like this that I just drop through the hole. Alright guys, it's pretty much finished juicing all 15 pounds of ginger in the Hurom CP50 without any problems. Let's go ahead and hit the stop button. So basically it took 18 minutes to process 15 pounds of ginger. That's pretty much like a little bit longer than 1 pound per minute. So maybe like 1 minute and 20 seconds per 1 pound of ginger. And that being said, let's go ahead and turn it off. Let's go ahead and feel the motor base. Lid is a little bit warm, but I think I could have still kept on going. All right, next up, let's go ahead and check to see how much yield we actually made. All right, guys, so after measuring all the ginger juice we made, these containers here, basically they're measured up to like 8 cups, but I went probably about another cup over that, so like 9 cups in each, approximately. So that's 9 plus 9, 18, plus 8 more is 26 cups of ginger out of 15 pounds of whole ginger. So that's quite impressive. What's most impressive to me is that, you know, number one, this thing didn't clog or jam. It pretty much worked the entire time. The only caveat was if I overloaded the hopper, it basically pushed the top up, and I'd have to basically latch it back down. Once again, I think Hurom, if they just made this little clip here a little bit stronger, then it wouldn't pop up when there's a little bit of you know, upward pressure on the lid. But what is most impressive is this pulp, guys. We started off with a huge mound of ginger, and we have all this juice and just a little bit of pulp. Now, this little bit of pulp is really impressive, guys. I'm going to pick up a monster handful here. Look at that. Look at this pulp. If I put it out, what does that look like? I mean, to me, This pretty much looks like sawdust if I grab a handful of this and squeeze it as hard as I can. I'm like really squeezing this, guys. No juice comes out of this. It's completely dry. There's no juice even left on my fingers. Right, I'm gonna say even if you put this in a hydraulic 2-stage juicer press, you're pretty much not gonna get another drop out of it. This stuff, for all practical purposes, is super dry. So if you're looking for the most efficiency in a commercial juicer to juice 15 pounds in this instance in about 18 minutes or even more, then I'm definitely going to give my thumbs up to the CP50. It did an amazing job on the ginger, right? This is probably one of the best jobs I've seen on juicing ginger on any vertical juicer. Normally you got to get a horizontal juicer to get pulp this dry, so I'm so amazed that literally the CP50 was able to literally turn the ginger into fibrous pulp and extract as much juice as completely possible. And of course, this would not be a ginger juice episode if I didn't take a ginger juice shot. So you're gonna get to see me take a ginger juice shot here on the camera. I'm just gonna go ahead and fill it up to about 1 teaspoon shot. Oops, I think I almost went up to 2 teaspoons here because I got a lot of ginger juice for later. All right, ginger juice shot going right down the hatch. I think the easiest way for me to take it, don't let it sit in your mouth too long. That's gonna get to start to burn, so just gonna go ahead and open the throat and just try to get it down. All right. That's some strong ginger juice, guys. It's burning the back of my mouth, almost making me tear up. All right, guys, so you saw it here first, a full-length review unboxing of the Hurom CP50, and it did not disappoint. Basically, I was super impressed on the yield on that ginger. This pulp is just super wrung out, super dry. I'm sure you'll be quite impressed if you guys have a kombucha bar. You need a lot of ginger juice to make. The pulp is super dry, and it did it in a solid clip, right? Basically 18 minutes for 15 pounds. I also like, of course, that this is a convertible machine, right? Not only can you use the included pure line juicing parts, you can also upgrade it to the easy clean line juicing parts, the parts I am personally waiting for. I really love the large, oversized hopper on this machine, and of course, it's the world's first dishwasher safe juicer that I am aware of. In addition, of course, they have the new upgrades on the hopper, the latest design, which seem to work pretty good, but I need to do further testing on it, as well as that flap that you literally just unplug when you're done to easily clean where all the pulp comes out quickly and easily. I really love the oversized couch container, and I think if you guys have a commercial establishment and are looking for a slow juicer, the CP50 is it. Number one, it's the first machine on the market in the United States, and only at this time to have the hopper, right? This frees you up to do other things so that your staff does not have to sit there and push each piece of produce in the machine. I've adopted this way of juicing for my home, and I'm confident that if you guys use it in your business, it will save you guys an amount of time. And the biggest cost in any business these days, in the USA especially, is the labor cost. So a one-time investment in the proper juicer with the hopper will save you guys a lot of money. This machine will also, guys, save you labor in the prep work as well, because it basically has the autopilot juicing where you basically can put in a whole piece of produce, it'll chop it up and get it juiced right up without your team members doing chopping like you may have to do on other juicers, especially if they have tiny little feed chutes. In addition, of course, this has the longest warranty on any commercial juicer out there, on not just the motor, 4 years, but also all the juicing parts for 4 years as well. So I'm quite impressed with my initial unboxing of the CP50. And at present time, if you guys have a commercial juice bar, if I had a commercial juice bar, the CP50 would be the one I would use. I've tested other commercial juicers out there at this point, and for cold press single auger juicing, this one is it, mainly because of that automatic hopper. Saves you guys lots of labor. And once again, if you guys are ready to make the purchase, of the CP50. Make sure you guys use the coupon code INDUSTRIAL. We'll throw up right there. That'll save you guys $200 off only until May 31st. After that, it'll still save you guys 10% off your purchase of the CP50 at Hurom.com. The link will be right down below this episode. So for those of you guys that are power users and home users that are looking for something heavy duty, industrial style to use in your home, the same exact machines that juice bars around America and around the world will be using very soon, then the CP50 is it. As you guys can see, I used 15 pounds of ginger and made lots of ginger juice. Over 6 quarts of ginger juice right here, and that's just 100% straight ginger. Think if you're just doing straight watermelon, how much faster it would work. Or orange juice, or apple juice, or any other green juice or root juice. I did the carrots early in this episode as well. You know, this is an amazing machine. Love the large hopper. About the only caveat I would say, and the thing that kind of saddened me a little bit, but I'm sure this will be corrected very soon by Hurom, because Hurom is always making incremental improvements to the machines, is that little latch. This latch seemed to come open a little bit too much, but I will take some of the responsibility for that because I did load it past the fill line. But nonetheless, it shouldn't pop up if you do load it past the fill line. It should have significant force, you know, so that you don't have to babysit the machine. So I do look forward to when Hurom comes out with the upgraded, better latching top that's improved, because maybe this one is defective. And of course, I also am looking forward to their easy clean line insert that's going to sell for about $50 to $60, hopefully next month. And I'll be having a review on it. So yes, this will give you commercial performance at home for juicing large batches of juice. If you guys have large families, want to juice tons at once, more than a home juicer can handle, this machine is it, and it is the most affordable commercial juicer that you could also use at home with the longest warranty on the market. So it's probably the best buy, and plus of course it's going to have that easy clean line that you could upgrade this to in hopefully just another month from this video airing. So once again, coupon code INDUSTRIAL, save you guys $200 off only now during the initial launch and unboxing video from Discount Juicers at the link down below. After that, you're gonna save only 10% off with the industrial coupon. So I want to thank you guys who will use that coupon code. It sincerely allows me to buy 15 pounds of ginger, spend my time juicing, also cleaning, paying my light bill, paying my amazing video editor so I could get these videos out for you. So I thank you guys so much who will use that coupon code. So not only you can get the lowest price and I could fulfill my commitment to getting customers the lowest price, but also I could, you know, fulfill my commitment of educating you guys on how the juicers work without any fluff. If you guys enjoyed this episode and want more videos like this where I use a CP50, be sure to give this a big thumbs up, and be sure to compare the CP50 with Hurom's home models in the upcoming future, as well as have an episode where I share the new easy clean insert for the CP50 to turn it into the CE50, and I could juice without any scrubbing. So I really can't wait for that either, as well as comparing this to other commercial juicers on the market in the future. But also, more importantly, share this with other juice bar or high-end home users if they're looking for the best machine for their home. The CP50 is simply it because there's no other commercial machine at this time in the USA that has that amazing hopper that I love so much. Also, be sure to check my past episodes. My past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. Over 900 episodes at this time, dedicated to teaching you guys all about the different equipment, comparing the different juicers so that you guys make the best purchase for you. I'll put links down below to some of the videos I've recommended, such as my Hurom H70, which is my favorite home juicer for those of you guys that are juicing at home and don't need the power of a commercial machine and will not be juicing tons of juice at once. So with that, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for YouTube visitors.